Tonight, you hit the snooze button. You skipped the hard thing. You told yourself you'd do it tomorrow. And in that moment, something ancient inside you, something built over 2 million years, quietly switched off. But here's what no one tells you. That ancient thing? It was never supposed to switch off. Your ancestors didn't have a tomorrow. They had right now. Or they had nothing. This is the story of what cavemen actually knew about mental toughness, and it is far stranger, far more powerful, and far more relevant to your life than you have ever been told. Go back, way back, around 1000 BC and further still. Picture a human, not soft, not comfortable, not scrolling through anything, just standing at the edge of a world that is actively trying to kill them. No shelter guaranteed, no food promised, no one coming to save them. Just a body, a mind, and a choice. Every single morning, that human woke up without motivation. Let that land. They did not wake up feeling inspired. They did not have a playlist or a vision board. They woke up with one simple, brutal reality. Move or die. Hunt or starve. Build or freeze. The question was never whether they felt like it. The question was whether they wanted to survive. That is not motivation. That is something older, something harder. Something psychologists today call intrinsic drive, rooted in necessity. And researchers like Dr. Roy Baumeister at Florida State University have spent decades studying what happens to the human will when that drive is stripped away by comfort. His research on willpower and self-regulation reveals a terrifying truth. The easier your life becomes, the weaker your mental resolve grows. Not because you are lazy, but because your brain, your ancient, prehistoric brain, only sharpens itself under pressure. Your ancestors lived under pressure every single day, and so their minds were razor sharp. Think about what that actually looked like. A hunter in 1000 BC did not quit when his legs burned. He could not. A mother building shelter in freezing wind did not stop because she was tired. Tired was not a reason. Tired was just a condition. They moved through it the way water moves through stone, not by force, but by persistence, by showing up again and again and again until the thing was done. This is what modern psychology calls a growth mindset, though the term belongs to researcher Dr. Carol Dweck of Stanford University, who spent years studying why some people collapse under difficulty while others grow stronger. Her conclusion was simple and ancient at the same time. The people who believe struggle is a signal to keep going, not a signal to stop, are the ones who survive. Not just physically, in every dimension of life. Your caveman ancestor didn't read Dweck's research, but they lived it, every single day. Here is the counterintuitive part. Your prehistoric ancestor was not tougher than you because they were built differently. They were tougher than you because they had no other option. And somewhere in the architecture of your own mind, buried under years of comfort and convenience, that same toughness still exists. Dormant. Waiting. Neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman has pointed to research showing that the human nervous system responds to voluntary hardship in the same way it responds to involuntary threat. When you choose to do the hard thing, when you decide, without being forced, your brain releases the same neurochemical cocktail that your ancestors' brains released when survival was on the line. Dopamine, norepinephrine, the chemicals of alertness, of focus, of momentum. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a mammoth hunt and a 5 a.m. run. It just knows you chose the hard thing, and it rewards you for it. This is the secret your ancestors never had to be told. Hard things feel good, eventually, not in the moment. In the moment they feel exactly like what they are. Difficult, painful, uncomfortable. But after is where the ancient reward lives. After is where toughness is built. After is where the version of you that does not need motivation starts to emerge. The problem is that modern life has made after optional. You can skip the hard thing. You can outsource the uncomfortable. You can live in a temperature-controlled, entertainment-saturated, food-delivered bubble where nothing is ever truly difficult. And your brain, brilliant, adaptive, ancient, quietly concludes that difficulty is no longer necessary. So it stops preparing for it. And then life sends you something hard. A loss, a failure, a moment that requires everything you have. And you reach inside for that ancient toughness. And it isn't there. Not because it doesn't exist, but because you haven't used it. Consider what discipline actually meant to a human in 1000 BC. It was not waking up early for productivity. It was not hustle culture. It was the simple, daily act of doing what needed to be done, regardless of feeling. The fire needed wood. The fire got wood. The children needed food. The children were fed. Emotion was not part of the equation. Action was the equation. Anthropologist Dr. Kim Sterelny, in his research on the cognitive evolution of early humans, argues that what separated surviving groups from extinct ones was not intelligence alone. It was the capacity for sustained, deliberate effort in the face of uncertainty. In other words, the ability to keep going when you had no idea if it was working, to hunt when you hadn't caught anything in days, to build when the weather was against you, to show up when every instinct said rest. Does that sound familiar? It should. Because that is the exact challenge you face, not survival, but sustained effort without guaranteed results. The career you are building, the body you are training, the person you are trying to become. None of it comes with a guarantee, and your ancient brain keeps looking for one. Stop looking. Your ancestors never had one, and they built the entire world you are standing in. Here is the modern mirror. Every time you choose the hard thing without being forced, every time you get up early, not because you have to, but because you decided to, you are activating a neural pathway that is 2 million years old. Every time you sit with discomfort instead of escaping it, you are doing something your caveman ancestor would recognize immediately. You are training. Not your body, your mind, your will, the most ancient and most powerful tool you own. The gym is not just a gym. It is a mammoth hunt. The cold shower is not just a shower. It is a winter morning with no fire. The hard conversation you keep avoiding is not just a conversation. It is the moment before the hunt, when everything in you wants to turn back. And the choice, as always, is yours. You were not born soft. You were made comfortable. Those are not the same thing. Somewhere inside you, beneath the comfort and the convenience and the endless reasons to wait until tomorrow, there is a human who woke up at the edge of everything and chose to move anyway. Tonight, when you hit the snooze button, you are not just being lazy. You are choosing which version of yourself to become. Your ancestors never got to choose. That was their burden. And somehow, impossibly, it was also their gift. Now the choice belongs to you.